What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports, and the Premier League has returned. And we are now previewing Manchester City versus Arsenal, the second game of the Premier League return. And I'm here with two esteemed, one esteemed colleague and the other esteemed guest in Ramon, Ramsey, and Yannicka. Arsenal fan, Manchester City fan. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing
Not bad.
I mean, everyone's not too bad now. Come the end of Thursday, one of you might be a bit more happy than the other, or maybe both of you disappointed. I don't know. We'll get into the nitty gritty about what we're expecting and what we want from the games this week. Now, it's the second game after lockdown. Second game in the Premier League, that is. Of course, the first one being I can't remember who it is now, but
Aston Villa, Sheffield
United. And I guess it's been a while. Over 3 months since we kicked the ball. I think nobody really knows what to expect. We can look at other leagues. We can look at Bundesliga, Serie A, Italia that started back. Look at La Liga. But, I mean, the Premier League, every club is different. Every league is different. All the players are different. So starting with Ramsey, how would you assess the first part of the season, which has been split into two? So the first 29 games of the season for Arsenal, obviously currently sitting just in mid-table. How would you assess the season so far?
Nothing short of a shambles, if I'm honest. We've had a manager sacked halfway through a season. That hasn't happened for years. All things are just falling apart. 9th place in the league with 10 games to go. It's one of the worst we've been in for a long while. Yes, there's been a pickup in form under Mikel Arteta, our new gaffer, and we're currently unbeaten in 2020. So there has been a pickup. We're in June now, still unbeaten. So it's been all right, been a pickup, but yeah, at the moment, you still look at the league table, we're still 9th in the league, so that's poor from us.
And Yannicka, obviously, Man City back-to-back Premier League winners going into this season. Currently, I mean, in second. I'm not going to say challenging for the title. Or maybe you might think different. It's not over to the fat lady sings and all that. How would you assess the first 29 games from Manchester City?
I think by our standards, we haven't had a great season because we've set our standards so high. So obviously, to be out of the title race as early as we were is a bad, season for us. Obviously, it is still winnable, but it's very, very, very unlikely, and it's been that way for quite a long time now. The only thing I would say is after winning the league back to back, I do think the focus of this season was on the Champions League, simply because our players haven't won that yet. And that is what they really are desperate to win. So I think a lot of, you saw our performance against Madrid. I think we seem to be doing a lot better in that competition this season.
Do you think you really went into the season consciously to say, you know what, we're going to put more emphasis on the Champions League? Or is it just a result of maybe a bad start and Liverpool obviously having such a good start that early on the tensions, or maybe subconsciously, just turned to other competitions?
Yeah, I do know the likes of David Silva and Aguero, they're at the end of their careers with Man City. And they have always said they want to win the Champions League. So I think in the back of their mind, they've always been thinking, I'd like to win that. Whereas the Premier League, Aguero's got 4. So I'm not saying he wouldn't want to win it again. Of course he would. But if you gave him a choice between the Champions League or the Premier League, he's always going to pick the Champions League at this stage. I don't know. I think we had I think that draw against Spurs quite early on. I think that kind of knocked our confidence a little bit. And then when we went after that, and I think it was Norwich were the first team we lost to. I think after that, I think they started to think maybe we won't do it again. But yeah, I think the gap has been so big. It's not really You know, if it was 5 points, I think they'd be up for it. You know, 10 points even. But when it started going to like 19, I think it'd be very, very unlikely for us to get close, you know, at that point.
Okay. All right. So as I said, yeah, you know, Arsenal in 9th, Man City in 2nd. They're both going to meet at the Etihad Stadium, on Thursday.
It will be empty this time.
It'll be empty, innit? You know,
You're right for once.
I'm always right when it comes to Man City. But I'm gonna, you know, I could use the same, you know, pun. It's gonna be easy for Man City, home advantage because it's empty and all that. I'm not gonna do that today. But is there home advantage, Yannicka? Is there gonna be still an element of home advantage, even though there's gonna be no fans in the stadium?
See, yeah, for me, I think the whole point in the home advantage is that you have your fans behind you, kind of cheering you on. It's also about the pitch as well. They know the pitch. You know, every pitch is slightly different, so it does help. You know, they've got the dressing rooms, that sort of thing. They don't have to travel. There is a lot of elements that is still in, you know, our advantage. But yeah, in terms of home advantage, it is, especially places like Anfield, it's about the fans, you know. So I think it will make a bit of a difference. I think it will be a little bit of a disadvantage.
You think it brings a bit of a level playing field? Arsenal have more chance.
Yeah, they're not going to be as intimidated because they've not got thousands of City fans, you know, shouting abuse at them when they're running at them, you know. So I think it does give the away team an advantage that they wouldn't have normally when they've got thousands of fans, you know, in that stadium.
What about you, Ramsey?
It does like
Yeah, I think the same thing with it. I think it's going to be, I think it'll be, obviously, I think when we come to the end of the season, we'll be able to look back and look at the results and see, you know, what actually happened. But looking at some of the Bundesliga results, it seems that like there isn't clear home advantage from, you know, from the home team. It makes it a bit easier, I guess, a little bit easier for us. But at the same time, we're still playing against the same squad, same players on the pitch. If anything, a more rejuvenated players back from injury, all that sort of stuff now. So, you know, that you still got to go out and do your job, fans or no fans. You know, there's going to be crowd noises in some of the games. So, you know, maybe that will ramp up.
I heard they're going to make some noise like when, say, substitutions and maybe when a goal is scored or something like that, they're going to have these artificial noises.
Yeah. To be fair, it sounds good in the Bundesliga. It actually sounds like you forget, like, because they play like general stuff like through the match, like just noise. Yeah. So you kind of forget that there's no fans for a second.
I wonder, does, like, obviously us where we are, it might sound a bit more.
Yeah.
But the players who obviously can see the stadium at all times.
Yeah.
It's weird that they got this sound. Like, is that my fans? Is it their fans? Like, is that it's weird. But in terms of you mentioned players coming back from injury. So which players, Ramsey, are you looking at? Are you maybe excited to see come back? I don't know what Arsenal's injury status were before the break. Are there any specific ones like, yeah, we're going to have that player back who's going to strengthen it? And what lineup are you looking at Arsenal or Arteta putting out? Who would you like to see?
Yeah, our injuries weren't too bad. We had a couple before, maybe like sort of a few niggles here and there. Kieran Tierney's the big one. I think, you know, he was ruled out for the season pretty much when he dislocated his shoulder against West Ham in January, just as he was looking like he was going to be starting and getting back, you know, playing under Arteta for the first time and that sort of stuff. It looked like he was going to get there. Then he fell on his shoulder and dislocated it. And, you know, so it'll be good for him to get a good 10 games or so to the end of the season, just see if he picks up form. But yeah, in terms of the lineup, I'd probably go with, you have to go with Leno in goal. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he's our only first goalkeeper. And Bellerin will go right back, Tierney left back. And then it's a choice of flip the coin and see who lands on who, centre back, to be honest. I think he'll probably go with Mustafi at right centre back, just purely based on the friendlies that we've seen. He's been starting both. He started both friendlies, and it looks like he'll probably get the nods. And then it'll be between David Luiz or Mario on the left side because they both prefer the left side of the defense. So I'll probably go with David Luiz there. And then again, it's the choice of what he does in the middle of the park. There's no Torreira; he's not regained fitness yet. So yeah, he's still out injured. So it'll probably be Xhaka and Dani Ceballos, that was the pairing just before lockdown, and we had a decent run of 8 games without loss. Those two were mainly the two in the middle. So I think he'll go again. And then it's a choice of does he go with Mesut Ozil or Joe Willock? Willock, I'd like to see Willock in there and maybe a bit more solid. But I think he may just go with the trusted Ozil in that position. Although, it's a big game away from home. But the way Man City has been at times this season, there could be chances, and it may need a creator in the midfield to do that. And then I think I'm hoping the front three will be Pepe, Lacazette, and Aubameyang. Aubameyang has again been playing left-sided.
Okay. Quickly, who did you have at left back?
Tierney.
So Saka just dropped like that because Arsenal fans have been rating Saka all season. He got nominated for the Ballon d'Or, if I'm correct. Golden Boy, sorry.
Ballon d'Or.
Golden Boy. Like, he's been good at left back, and you're gonna drop it all together. Like, not even doing.
Yeah, I think again, I'm basing this on a lot of what I've seen at the friendlies, and because Kolasinac is also back now from injury. Now Saka was only playing because Tierney and Kolasinac were both injured. Now that they're both back, they've both played half a game each at left back in the friendlies. I think in the left back position, I don't think he'll be there. There is a chance though for him to start further up. In the friendlies, they played him as a left centre mid, and then as a left winger, and then as a right winger for a bit as well. So there's an option. I won't be surprised. Maybe not necessarily for the first game at Man City, but maybe for the game against Brighton on the weekend, he may get a start there. But obviously, again, 5 subs in the game, so there's a chance for him to get an appearance early on in that game. I'd expect him to play a part in the game. I just don't know if he's going to start. And again, as I was saying, on the left side, Aubameyang seems like Arteta wants to still work with Aubameyang out wide. And if that's the case, then obviously Saka won't be able to play there. And then again, it's a toss up. Both have looked decent. Lacazette hasn't necessarily nailed down his place up top. I think he's gone 13 away games without a goal now. So away from home, he's not been in his best form. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Nketiah going up there. For some reason, I just don't think he's going to do Pepe, Lacazette, and Aubameyang. I don't know why. I just got a feeling one of them won't play, and it could be even that Nelson goes in that right wing as well. So I'd probably say Pepe, Nketiah, and Aubameyang to start. But as I said, there's about 3 or 4 positions where it's literally up in the air, depending on who gets it. And I mean, if we get friendlies to go by, there's the midfielders are up in the air. Guendouzi's been playing decently. Maitland-Niles has been moved to centre mid now as well, which I don't know about that.
Well, but that's his natural position. He has a rate at fullback, if we're being honest. Yeah,
it's his natural position, but he didn't look great, so he might naturally have to have a new position. I do think he needs to nail down the spot in some place, because you become a utility player unless you want to be the John O'Shea of the team. Nobody wants to be that. So he better find his position soon, innit?
Why you say that? Ask John O'Shea if he'll swap his career with, I don't know, a Steven Gerrard. He'll take his career all day long. I'm not gonna Premier League champion. That chip again.
Yeah, at least it's all right if you did it for a team that's winning trophies, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're finishing 9th and 8th and 6th, I don't know if it's worth it.
Yannicka, Ramon mentioned 5 subs. That gonna benefit City more than any other team in the league in terms of, obviously, we know the depth that you've got, and also players coming back. Sane, Laporte, is that going to be important for City going into the last 9 games of the season, the heavy fixture list? And what team are you looking to see out there, the 11 on Thursday?
Well, to be honest, with City, we do have that whole argument every week. Who should play? Who shouldn't play? who doesn't come off the bench. So, for example, if
it's not just City fans, all fantasy football.
Yeah. But our fans will be like, why hasn't De Bruyne started? Or why hasn't whoever he drops? Basically, people have an issue with. So I think the 5 subs will give him an opportunity, to play people that might have normally missed out, including some of the younger players as well, because we do have like Eric Garcia and people like that a lot of our fans want to see, but they don't necessarily play. Whereas if we are playing in a game and we do go 3-0 up, there's no reason why he can't, come on and play.
3-0 up. All right.
Yeah, I don't really agree with that. But in terms of squad, I don't know. Pep had a press conference, and he said that he, because they're not as fit as they were before, he's gonna have to use the whole squad. So I can imagine that he will play, everyone at different points. I think he'll obviously go with Edison in that. I can't see Bravo starting. And then I think now Laporte's back, it's going to have to be Laporte. And then it's who he partners with. Probably will be Fernandinho. I can imagine that it will be. And then he'll play, I don't really know. Could be Mendy or Cancelo. I don't really know which one. Probably Kyle Walker. Do you know what? With Pep, I honestly don't know.
Is Mendy fit?
Yeah, I think so. I think everyone is fit.
Okay.
I think.
Did you not have a friendly? Did you not have any friendlies? Because I didn't see no friendlies from you.
No, I don't think so. I haven't seen us playing a game, so I don't know if they're playing with each other, and I don't know. I don't know.
Fair.
We've got 2 squads anyway.
City's second team is probably better than any again. So,
yeah, you know what? I don't know 100%. I don't know. But I think De Bruyne probably. I think the only players that I would say are always on the team sheet are Edison when he's fit, Fernandinho, and a lot of the time De Bruyne. But everyone else, it's up to Pep.
Sane is obviously he's been out all season. We know he's fit. He's been out all season.
Yeah.
Talk about him leaving. Are you expecting to see him feature much, considering his future is in doubt between now and the end of the season?
I think he will. To be honest, at the moment he's still a City player, so I'm not against him playing. I don't think he should play over other players that have been more loyal. So I think, if Mahrez is ready and he's ready, and Mahrez has been playing well, which he has this season, then there's no reason why he should get dropped for Sane. But saying that, Sane against Arsenal, he really turns up in the big games. So, for Arsenal, I probably would play him, even though it's not.
I mean, considering you got 5 subs, and we know Pep loves rotation anyway.
Yeah.
Probably at some point he will come on.
Yeah.
Looking forward, we'll get into results at the end, but looking forward for City, what are you looking to get out of the Premier League season between now and the end? Because are you seriously fighting for top 4? Do you think top 4 is secure? The league title is not really there to fight for. What can City do to, let's say, just keep the motivation between now and the end of the season? Playing youngsters, I don't know.
We still, obviously, like you say, we still need to win. We still need to get as many points as we can, even if we're not going to win the title. You know what I mean? We still need to finish as high as we can. We've been second all season pretty much. So it would be a bit of a shame.
At one point, you dropped to like third, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, but most of the season, it would be a shame now to drop into third or fourth, after the season that we've had. So, I think definitely have to still fight in the league. The rules are a little bit different now. So, because people aren't going to be as fit, there's more subs. And I think there's less excuse now to lose a game if you have 5 subs, because if it's, say, for example, Aguero starts and he's not playing well, there's no reason why Gabby can't come on. because you've still got subs to replace the midfield. So I think we definitely have to go for finishing with as many points as we can. And then I think for us, the focus now would be the Champions League, hopefully. The only problem with that is a lot of people get to a final and lose before they get to a final and win. So even if this season is just the experience of us getting to a final, obviously I would love to win it. But if we don't, that experience is there then.
Boy, don't cut your chickens before they hatch, because some man get to a final and they ain't reached back since. So if you get to the final, you better just take your chance while you have it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's a knockout competition at the end of the day. So you don't turn up and you're out. Especially now because they're not going to have 2 legs. So it's going to you turn up and you play badly, then you're out, which actually might benefit us more. Because with City, what happens a lot of the time is the first leg we do all right, and then the second leg we fuck it up. We've done that on quite a few occasions. Or we get close and then we don't quite do it. So for me, I'd probably rather go out than have another Tottenham kind of situation where you think you're throwing your nut. So for us, I think 1 leg is better, less stress.
Ramsey, Arsenal. What's Arsenal's aspirations between now and well, in terms of Premier League, what are they aiming for in the Premier League?
I think they have to go for Champions League, however far it looks. From a player's point of view, from a manager's point of view, from a board point of view, they've got to push as if it's still achievable. Now, obviously, as it stands, 5th place is a Champions League place, with City being banned, although that may change. So 5 points from 5th as it stands at the moment with a game in hand, it's still feasible if that's the case. And obviously, if not, then it's a bit further up to Chelsea in 4th. But so I think if Arsenal do manage to beat City this week and are 2 points behind Man United, they all of a sudden become you're right in it again. So I think they have to look at Champions League as a potential aim. I've got no hope whatsoever. I don't think we'll reach Champions League. I think we'll be lucky to reach Europa League because the teams in front of us: Spurs, Sheffield, Wolves, Man United, Chelsea. There are many teams to get through, to get past, and they're not bad teams as well. So, and the way we've been playing the season up and down, it's not like we're going to put a run of 10 wins together. So I think we have to aim internally. They've got to have the motivation, and I think Arteta will try and motivate them to do it. I just don't see it happening for us personally.
Okay, fair enough. A quick question. When are we expecting the result from the trial, Yannicka, for Man City's league?
They said, I think it was the first 2 weeks of July.
Okay.
Yeah. So
before the season ends, we'll know what positions get into the Champions League, basically.
Yeah,
I think it was always going to be in the summer, and obviously COVID changes things. That it's now going to be in the summer, but during the league season.
Yeah.
So as before, everyone would have had to play as if 4th place was the place to get. Whereas now, it's like we'll find out by the last
you might be
3 or 4 games.
2-3 games left to go, and you're like, we've secured our position in 5th place.
Yeah.
Team in 6, like, damn, we're back in it. We're back in with a shout.
Yeah, exactly. So
interesting times. Yeah. In terms of the fixture, so obviously, I think there's a game. How's it work now? No games are playing at the same time. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not planning on watching every single game. I can't see myself doing it personally because, tomorrow I'll watch it because it's the first game back. But if I get, I don't know what the fixtures, but if there's a Newcastle versus, I don't know, a Bournemouth, I don't know if I'm watching that. If there's a possibility of other things to do, I'm not saying I'm staying home. I'm gonna watch Bournemouth versus Newcastle. It's gonna be a lot of football, because having 3 o'clock kickers at the same time, you flick between, you check the scores. You literally have to wait 90 minutes. Oh, that game's done. All right, now the next dead game. Oh, that game's done. You're checking your fantasy football, slow updates, 1 game at a time. I don't know. It might get drawn out in the end. Very long.
I think if there were fans, it'd be a lot more enticing something to watch. But I think as it goes on throughout the weeks, I think maybe the first weekend everyone will probably be watching, and then as it goes on, it'll be like yeah, I might give that one a miss, or I might give that one a miss. BBC announcing their massive game that they got 4 games now, kicking off with Bournemouth. Well, they're kicking off with Bournemouth against Crystal Palace at 7:45 on a Saturday. I mean,
to be fair, it's not like we can go out. Oh, I'm gonna go to a party instead.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So it's gonna be. I think the figures, TV figures will find that, and I guess Sky are putting some of their games for free to air, but not all. So yeah, not everyone will be able to watch it if they don't have a Sky Pass anyway.
Interesting. All right. Score predictions. Yannicka. Man City versus Arsenal. What are you going for?
I don't know.
Prediction.
Arsenal's a hard one though, because it can literally be anything.
You say that, but I said to you, I told you, I think it's like 5 games in a row you've beat them, and I don't think you've lost to them in I don't know how long.
6 games. 6 games in a row. They last beat us in January 2015. We last beat them in January 2015.
Yeah, was that a Cazorla?
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't think it's going to be a massive win if we do win. I don't think it's going to be like the first game of the season. So if we do win 2-1, I can't see it being a massive, it's not going to be 4-0 or anything like that. But if they beat us, I think, again, it will be like 2-1. It won't be a big score either way.
And Ramon, prediction?
I think we have to really win to try and get anywhere, climb the table. But obviously, it's a tough game. So I don't think we will. I think I'll probably say 2-0 City in the end. And it could be depending on how the match starts and going into half time, could be even more. Could be even more. So it depends on. But for me, I just want to see some fight in the team. I want to see people that want to play for Arsenal and trying to get them up the league instead of just sitting there and just getting battered again. Last time when you came Emirates and you scored early, it was just like no one wanted to play, man. It's like, and the year before when Bernardo scored and there was no lines on the pitch and that, it was like no one was really on it. We're 1-0 down after like 5 minutes and everyone's like, oh, all right, let's call this one an L and we move on. I want to see like some fight. So we'll see what happens in it. We'll see. Arteta versus Pep. Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting. To see maybe Arteta can use what he's learned from Pep and coming up. Equally, Pep,
all the secrets.
But equally, Pep trained him in it. So unless Arteta's drastically changed from what he was doing on the coaching pitch at Man City, Pep should also know, maybe know what Arteta's going to come up against. But I'm sure the quality of the players really is going to be the difference on the pitch. I can't see it being a high-scoring game personally, being the first game back. In terms of even fitness-wise, are the players going to keep going that long? But we'll see. We'll see. Arsenal have to really win, as Ramon said, to have a realistic chance of getting top 4. And City have to win to avoid the embarrassment of having to give Liverpool a guard of honour at the Etihad Stadium in 3 games' time. So we will see. Guys, leave your comments below, hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.